This is Bill Forster, Real Talk Chronicles. And today I'm with congressional hopeful Sammy Ravelo. For you, those who don't know, Sammy and I used to work together in NYPD. And I just felt I had to, on a real talk aspect, find out why my friend of over 27 years wanted to be a congressional hopeful. Sammy, welcome to Real Talk Chronicles.
Thank you, Billy. Thank you for having me.
Oh, well.
Appreciate that.
So please, I may know your past, but people don't. Tell people who you are, where you come from, and what led you to this point of wanting to be a congressional hopeful.
Well, again, thank you, Billy, for having me. I am a newly retired lieutenant from the NYPD, as you may know. I worked over 25 years, and more importantly, my background. I'm a retired Navy vet.
Okay.
I came here when I was 16 years old. My parents brought me here from the Dominican Republic,
Right.
and unbeknownst to me, I was here without documentation.
Okay.
And I find out the hard way in high school when I wanted to go to college, and mom tells me that hey, listen, you're gonna have to wait for that because
Really?
yes, because we don't have your documents yet.
Okay.
It took me a few years to get them, and when I finally did, I joined the U.S. Navy.
Okay.
Fought in the First World Gulf War.
Thank you for the service.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Right.
I came back. I went to Bronx Community College, and upon graduation, I joined the NYPD.
All right.
25 years later, here I am. But to answer your question, what brought me to this point,
Right.
running to run for Congress, it was the rhetoric that's coming out of the White House.
Okay.
The anti-immigrant rhetoric that our president is having. A lot of people that probably don't know, the majority of the immigrants, the vast majority of the immigrants come here to work.
Yes.
They come here to help our economy.
Yes.
The president has been maligning them in a way that I've never seen any other president do, and it sprung me to action.
Okay.
He awakened the political person that I had in me because I wasn't that much political.
Yeah.
When it came to politics in Washington, but that's pretty much the main reason why I said, rather than complain, what am I going to do?
Yes.
So I think this is the best way of me showing that, immigrants, especially people like myself, come here to give back.
Yes.
All right.
I think that's very important, and I think people don't understand certain things spark a little fire in us.
Yes.
And you consider yourself an Afro-Latino, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
And a person of color, to see how one individual is just coming at immigrants, it's crazy.
It is.
What do you think your experiences learning from working with the NYPD can help you in the Congress?
Yes. Well, that's a great question. Every law that's passed, whether it's an immigration law,
Right.
that keeps people in the shadows,
Right.
whether it's a housing law,
Right.
whether it's marijuana laws, you name it, affects the community. When you are working directly with the community, you can see what kind of effect it has on the community. So that makes me, I think, overqualified. Those of us that work, hand in hand with the community, I think are most qualified to see, to work in Congress, because we actually see what the effects of those laws.
What district are you running for again?
I'm running for the 16th district.
What does that cover?
That covers the northern part of the Bronx, which are the areas of Riverdale,
Okay.
Wakefield,
Yes.
and Co-op City,
Okay.
and the southern part of Westchester County, which are the cities of Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, and Yonkers. We also have a couple of hamlets like Eastchester, Ardsley, Scarsdale, Mount Merrimack, and Lawrenceman. There's some small little villages and hamlets that are also covered.
And you live in this area?
That is correct.
Good.
That's correct.
You predominantly worked in the Bronx, the Manhattan? Where did you work in your career?
I would say out of the 25 years, I worked 21 in the Bronx.
Okay. What do you think you can give back to the Bronx from just your experience of being an Afro-Latino and, like I said, a former police officer? That how do you bring the communities together?
Well, one of the things that I would try to strengthen the neighborhood coordinating officer program that was started in the NYPD.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was effective.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that it needs more funding.
Okay.
I believe we should allow those officers to interact more with the community. I would put more officers, in that aspect of community policing, because I see the effect. Now the community is involved, and I believe that federal dollars should be brought back to the community in order to strengthen that. And that's probably one of where I would start. In order to bridge whatever gap there is left between the community and the police.
What do you think about housing? What would you do to try to make that a better situation if you could?
Well, I'm glad to say that New York State, they have made a big step in fixing the housing situation. Housing situation is one of the main problems that I see, and when I walk around the district, asking, talking to the constituents.
Right.
And I would actually try to see if there could be more federal dollars put into our housing. I know California, like states like California, they're committed to building 2 million more homes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I would like that program to be, federally funded for every state, where we can, home people that are living housing get a path to home ownership, and also allow, people that are struggling
Right.
to pay rent, give them more subsidies.
Okay.
I would like to have federal dollars for that.
What would you do about the youth in the communities? Because the district that you're running for is very diverse.
Yes.
You have Caucasians, you have African Americans, you have
Yes.
Latins,
Yes.
you have Jewish people.
Yes.
How do you bring this community together?
Well,
Not that it's so much diverse,
Right.
but we're not talking about diversity. What we're just talking about.
no, I'm thinking
Yeah.
because this is what and this is what I see
Okay.
that's happening, and throughout the district, youth programs, especially in sports,
Yes.
have declined from
Okay.
when we were kids.
Yes. very much so.
And you can walk around this district, and some of our youth, they have nothing to do.
Okay.
You gotta have money, either to have your kid on a travel team. You gotta pay money to become big money. Everything has been monetized.
Right.
There is not those opportunities that we had. If you want a kid playing baseball or football, other than basketball,
Yeah.
you gotta get into a league, and parents gotta come up with money. I would like to have this. I would like to bring more money for education.
Okay.
Education has declined 25% the last 4 years. We're getting 25% less federal dollars for education. I would like the school districts in every corner of the district to come up with more after-school programs, more youth programs where the kids are involved. I believe having this diverse community that, it starts with, our extracurricular activities, and I believe that if they can get together, communities will come together,
Okay.
if you will.
For the naysayers that may say Sammy's a retired police officer, he's not going to do anything for the community, what do you say to them?
Well, one thing that I say is just the fact that you work as a police officer, you are working with the community.
Right.
One thing that I'm very proud of, is I went 25 years, and
Yes.
as I know, that sometimes you were asked to get to a location, but you were not wanted.
Yes.
I never got a civilian complaint.
See.
Because I treated people with respect.
Okay.
And people are telling me all the time, why are you doing this? You are crazy. Why don't you just enjoy your retirement?
Yeah.
But I still feel the need that, to help people, because everybody that knows me knows that that's what, that's what motivates me.
Right.
You know, the fact that I can do something for other people, and I believe that, you know, it's time for me to continue my service.
Good, good. I mean, I think it's important that people have to understand, and maybe you can elaborate more on this, that just because we worked in law enforcement doesn't mean we have the mentality of law enforcement across. It doesn't mean that we're anti-law enforcement either.
No.
Explain that point too.
Law enforcement, obviously, law enforcement is crucial.
Right.
We do not want our communities going back to the late 80s, early 90s,
yes.
where, you know, and one thing that I can tell you is that every single community that I went to, whether it's in the Edenwald houses or up in Scarsdale, they support our law enforcement, and I support our law enforcement. You know, we don't want to retreat back to those days where, you know, crime is rampant. We don't want that.
No.
We definitely don't want that. But at the same time, you know, we're not law enforcement community. We're not perfect. Sometimes, you know, mistakes are made. Sometimes, you know, somebody does something that's wrong, and we're going to call them out on that as well. So, you know, it's not going to be that we're going to co-sign everything, but we support our police.
Yeah.
We support our law enforcement because that, you know, without that, we're going to have chaos.
Yeah.
You know, so
I think it's very important that, you know, me doing the Real Talk Chronicles, taking on an activist role, that because we speak out on things that we feel are unjust, doesn't mean that we're not anti-police. I think Sammy and I both can tell you that we are very happy that we were part of the police department, and we thank you, and we thank the people for allowing us to protect and serve them.
Yeah.
But in the next breath, it is a hard job, and I guess that's why you're looking to be a congressman, because it's another hard job that you're willing to take on.
we do things not because they're easy. Because if we do things that were easy, then everybody would be doing it. I always said it. You know, a lot of people don't know. The first 3 days that I came to the United States, I slept in the trains.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a funny story. My mom didn't even know that until I decided to run for Congress. You know, long story short, where I was supposed to sleep, the person didn't know that I was coming, so I had to give him a chance. I didn't want to worry my mom, so I just stayed on the train. I was fortunate to have a job, you know, so I would sleep in the train, go to the job, freshen up, and pump my gas, and then
Was your first job pumping gas?
Yes, and you know, everything else has been easy for me afterwards.
You know, I think that's a testament to who you are and what's groomed you to be the man that you are today. People don't understand. Immigrants come here to work. Elaborate on that. Like, explain. Let us know. Like, it's not what they see in the news.
Yes, that's very good, because that's what inspired me. That's why I'm here today.
Right.
Majority of the immigrants, whether they come here illegally or not legally, or legally, I'm sorry, they come here to work.
Right.
That's the reason why people come to our shores, you know, in order to build a better future. The American dream, if you will. What the White House is saying is that the immigrants that come here raping people and they're committing all these crimes, and that's just not true. The facts are not true. If you look at the majority of the people that we arrest, and you know this, are people that are here legally.
Yes.
You know, they may be sons of immigrants. Everybody came from somewhere else, but they are here legally. So maligning immigrants because they're here, whether they're here illegally, is just plain wrong. And the second thing I'm going to say is that, you know, we have this DACA bill, the children that came through no fault of their own, me being one of them.
Of course.
And we can't allow them to be, you know, be part of the American dream or become of the American fabric, and that's just plain wrong in my book. I think that, you know, there should be a path to legalization for these people, and I'm going to fight tooth and nail for that to happen.
And that's what's up. In summation, tell everybody why they should vote for you.
Well, my story is an immigrant story. It's a story of work. It's a story of service. They should vote for me because I'm going to be there for this people in this district from day one. And as you know, Billy, I always mean what I say. I am a workhorse, not a show horse. So, they should vote for me because I'm going to be here in the district. I'm not going to disappear and become a creature of Washington.
Hold on, let me just interrupt.
Okay.
When we talk about the people in the district, you're going to be a first-time congressional.
Yes.
Well, you're a first-time congressional hopeful.
Yes.
But if you win, right? People are going to say to you, what makes you different than what's already in the incumbent? What do you tell them about that?
Very good. Well, we have our incumbent.
Yeah.
He's a good man. There's probably not much difference in what we have. We probably agree on 95% of the issues. We are both Democrats,
Okay.
and we believe in unions. We believe in the rich paying their fair share of taxes. We believe in immigration. The difference is that the incumbent, after 30 years, you become a Washington creature. Every decision that you make is because it's based on a political calculation,
Okay.
rather than serving the people in your district. So one thing that I'm definitely going to do different is I'm going to be here every month and I'm going to do a town hall.
Okay.
And a section of my district, whether it's Yonkers, whether it's Mount Vernon, whether it's in Co-op City or Riverdale, I'm going to be here and I'm going to do a town hall, and I want to hear from my people, what is it that I can do better? What is it that they need from Washington? Do they need representation? And that's one thing that one thing that I know that it's not being done now that I'm going to do different.
All right, so when they ask you to make promises and you let them know, like, what do you tell them? Like, I can't make promises, because the first time you're going to make mistakes.
Yes.
And what are you going to tell them? How do you explain
Yes,
it?
I'm not going to make promises.
Right.
And I'm not going to lie.
Good.
I'm going to let people know what they need to know. And hopefully, I am going to work hard into whatever it is that needs to be fixed when we need to change. One thing that I can promise is that I am going to work hard to see those changes.
Right. Sammy, people want to make donations, they want to ask you questions. How do they contact you?
Yes, they can go to sammyrevella.com and all the information on volunteering,
Okay.
contributing to our campaign, making phone calls, putting up yard signs, all the information on there. Somebody will definitely get in contact with them.
I'm Bill Forster. This is Real Talk Chronicles. Congressional hopeful Sammy Revella.
Thank you, buddy.